great to be with you today, and Reverend Paulie, thank you for your invitation. And it's worth noting that the Lord of Life Lutheran Church also participated in our hypothermia program. Thank you, and thank you to your congregants for saving lives this last winter. It's amazing to see this crowd, which is an honor to our colleague Kate Hanley, but it's also a statement about the commitment of this community on this issue. We set about several years ago with a goal to end homelessness in Fairfax County in 10 years. We're serious about that goal. We're serious about making the investments to make that goal happen. This family shelter is one of those investments. This is a county board that's putting its money where its mouth is on behalf of the community. And this is a caring community. It's also a community that understands there's a return on this investment. If we can help people get back on their feet and lead productive lives again, all of us benefit. All of us benefit. And that's a commitment worth keeping, don't you think? I want to introduce some of the special people who are here. We're all special, but some of my colleagues from the board. And I'm going to start over here because I have to butter them up day and night, ladies and gentlemen. Please give them a big hand. We have a board meeting on Monday. My colleague from Mason District, Penny Groves. From Providence District, Linda Smith. From the Mount Vernon District, Gerry Connolly. The Vice Chairman of the Board from Braddock District, Sharon Boulevard. My colleague from Hunter Mill District and the Chairman of our Human Services Committee, Kathy Hudgens. Delegate Jim Scott is with us, a great advocate for the homeless back there. Delegate Mark Sickles, where are you, Mark, from the Lee District? Welcome. Our colleague from Fairfax City, Patrice Winter, joined us today. Thank you, Patrice. And I hope I'm not leaving other people out. If I am, someone bring me a list. There are a whole bunch of people. But I did want to, one of the myths about homelessness, certainly in our community, sometimes we have a stereotype about who are the people we're serving. We have 1,813 homeless people in the last survey. 60% are in families. 60% are in families, and 674 of those 1,813 people are children. 674. 61% of the adults in homeless families are employed. They're working. And of course, domestic violence, serious medical situation, the loss of a job can be common reasons why somebody finds oneself in a homeless condition. This is our fourth family shelter in the county. And frankly, we hope it's going to be our last because we're going to work so hard to try to achieve that goal. We had a summit on homelessness a few years ago sponsored by the county and Freddie Mac. And we agreed that housing first has to be our strategy. That might sound like a truism. Of course, we want to get homeless people in homes. But when we looked at benchmarking around the country, what we discovered was that the sooner you can get people back into shelter, back into a home, all kinds of other good things flow. We can connect with them in terms of social services. We can then work on employment skills. We can help get them back on their feet. So we're pursuing this strategy very aggressively, and it's not easy in Fairfax County because the one thing we don't have a lot of, frankly, is affordable housing, and we're trying to change that too. That's what part of our preservation initiative has been all about. After Hurricane Katrina, we worked with Kate Hanley and Kathy Hudgens and a whole bunch of other people and Janie Strauss and the school board. We formed something called Fairfax Families Care. And this was designed to help the long-term recovery of families who had relocated in this area from the hurricane zone in Louisiana and Mississippi. And we were focused on three things. Putting kids in school, no problem. Put a couple hundred kids in school, no problem. Next day. Jobs. We had 500 job offers within a week, no problem. Could have done a lot more. Housing, that was a problem. It took us several months and we were lucky to get 40 or 50 housing units as part of that effort. So we have to redouble our efforts to make sure that we have affordable housing here in Fairfax County to make sure that this works. nobody on our Board of Supervisors at the time was a more passionate advocate for making this day happen and making sure that this subject was at the forefront of public policy and politicians, that we didn't shy away from it, that we addressed it frontally and meaningfully, and that was our colleague Kate Hanley. She made today possible because of her political will and because of her vision of what kind of community we needed to be. Please give her another big hand.